Joining match.
What is up, Echo Master League? I hope everyone is doing well tonight. Welcome to the first game of our doubleheader this Thursday night. It is week 4 of season 4. We've got Monarch versus Ultra X TENS0R as our first match of the night. And make sure to stick around because we have got Ren versus Modified at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm Finn Golfin on the mic with H Penny on cams, and we have a new caster here today. Everyone, please welcome Martini.
Hello, hello. How are we doing today? I not in the EML community. I'm in a couple other of these VR esports communities, but of course I'm always excited to check out what's going on in other scenes. Well, Finn, I was checking out some of the stats from these teams. We have Monarch 3-3 this season, Ultra TENS0R. I guess I'm just say Ultra going forward 1-5. I mean, what do you feel about that score line? Those points from both of those teams, because Monarch seems to be in a little bit better of a situation versus the Ultra TENS0R team. But I was looking at chat, getting the vibes, and it looks like it's kind of mixed right now in the chat.
Yeah, a lot of Ultra TENS0R fans in the chat. We're just waiting here for the ready up. But yeah, I'm excited to see who comes out with the pressure tonight. I do think Monarch has a strong chance here. Really good team. They just played recently, and they won a good game against, I believe, Crunk it was. So, yeah. Just excited here.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what these two teams come up. It's my first EML cast on top of that, so obviously a little bit more hyped up from that instead. But, I mean, to your point, we have a doubleheader too, Ren and Modified coming afterwards. We'll talk probably about that when we come around to them. But this game, I think you were just talking about Monarch. I'm feeling a little bit better about them, feel a little stronger. It feels like Ultra TENS0R might be the underdog, but I want to see what they can pull out here. Maybe something interesting.
And it's going to be Monarch immediately winning the neutral joust. Q is going to toss that one forward, bounces off some geometry. Unluckily for them, though, we'll see who gets the disc first. It's going to be James who's going to try to clear that one out. Bounces off more geometry here. Phenom grabs it. Phenom going to try to pass that one over to James. James going for it. We'll see if, nope, it's going to be Flaky who grabs it. Nope, taken back by James. Nope, again, taken back by not ISO. Who's going to clear that one out? But Phenom's going to keep possession here for Ultra TENS0R over to MTI. Up to James. James pressured by not ISO. Over to MTI. MTI back across to James. James pressured again by not ISO. Heavy pressure here from this Monarch team. Over to MTI. MTI over to Phenom. Tries to go for the shot. Off the ding ring. Good play there from Ultra TENS0R. Keeping possession here.
You're good?
No, you're good. But they get the goal there. MTI, beautiful passing work here from this Ultra TENS0R team coming out to start.
Beautiful work indeed. I was a little nervous for Ultra TENS0R, right? They had a little bit of struggle pushing in towards the beginning there. Obviously, this counter attack came in so hot, empty, with a beautiful assist coming right off of that pass. And I mean, talk about being able to work under pressure, even with a solid defense there from Monarch as they come out, going in for the pass, now looking for those open options. It gets picked up, though, by Ultra TENS0R, sending it deep in there, right into the hands of James in the 1v2, takes it open, and it's a beautiful dunk there for Ultra.
Just a great start there from Ultra, able to capitalize on a little bit of mistakes there from Monarch. We'll see what they can do with their offensive joust here. They're really going to need to reset things, figure out what they want to do on offense, try to go for some more set piece engagements. All right, we'll see. They're coming out of the tunnels right now. It's going to be Caroline at the QB position. Going to toss that one all the way down left tunnel. Not ISO and Q trying to grab it, but MTI clears that one away over to Phenom. Phenom going to pass that one over to James. Cross to MTI. MTI here. Not much pressure on MTI here on the left wall. Never mind. Flaky's going to pressure a little bit up to James. James looking for an opening, pressured by not ISO. We'll see. Over to Yuji. Yuji with the beautiful dunk here, 6-0 in favor of Ultra Tensor. And maybe our predictions at the start were maybe not so, I don't know.
Not so hot indeed. I mean, when you look at the stats, right, you would think Monarch 3-3, they have, I mean, more wins in terms of points versus Ultra Tensor. While they have not had a great season, it doesn't seem to be quite the case in this game right now because they're the ones dominating 6-0 right now for Ultra Monarch, having to figure out how they want to come back and maybe get themselves at least a couple points on the board as they're going in for that cross pass. Beautiful finish there by Q, I believe, for, sorry, Flaky for Monarch.
Yeah, beautiful response there from Monarch. We'll see what Ultra Tensor can do here with their first offensive joust. I really want to see what this Ultra Tensor team can do in terms of set piece offensive ability. It's going to be Fade. I'm going to toss that immediately over to MTI. MTI tries to pass it down to UG, bounces off some geometry. We'll see who gets to it first. It's going to be Q. Q going to try to have a good offensive push here for Monarch. It's going to be Caroline with the long bounce shot. Great shot there from Caroline. Wow.
I mean, beautiful three coming out from Caroline, getting a couple more points on the board for Monarch there. And honestly, I know we are getting a lot of flack to them earlier, but it looks like they are finally really getting into the swing of things. I gotta say, maybe it's just first match jitters there. That's the guess I'm getting, and it looks like they are warming up pretty soon.
Yeah, just good stuff here. It's going to be MDI with the disc. Going to pass that one back to James. James pressured by not ISO. Going to pass that one down to MTI again. Over to UG. Intercepted by Caroline. Caroline's going to clear that one all the way downfield. We'll see who gets to it first. Ooh, it's going to be Flaky. Flaky has an opening here. Tries to pass it to Q, a little bit overthrown there. We'll see who gets to it. It's going to be not ISO slapping that one forward. Over to Q, over to Flaky. And this Monarch team has really rallied back here. 7 points unanswered.
Gotta say, wide open a goal there, Finn. I got a little worried. I'm wondering what's going on. I mean, check out this replay, right? We saw a beautiful counterattack, sends it for the cross, gets connected there, and unfortunately, that goalie was a little too aggressive, opened up the goal perfectly for Monarch, and you can't do much about that. Beautiful pass coming out here from Ultra Tensor in the hands of James as they move it down the arena, and it's back in the hands of a Monarch.
And not ISO going to try to pass it over there to right tunnel, but it's going to be intercepted. MTI going to take it over to. Ooh, great save there by Caroline, preventing the shot from Phenom. Great stuff there. Caroline takes possession again, going for the long three.
Oh.
I think that's her second long three of the day. Beautiful stuff there.
Yeah, we're seeing the sniper come out there from Caroline. These beautiful, beautiful plays from them as they come back so fast. They're just racking up these points, threes after threes. Not all of them, but a good amount of threes as they come out for the quick joust off to hands, off to their teammates already now trying to move forward, but it does get out of their hands back in the possession of Monarch as they are going in for a beautiful regrab down the arena. Does get intercepted, but it gets picked right back up and somehow into a cross there, but not quite connecting yet.
Yeah, interesting stuff there from Ultra Tensor. They really need to calm down. As you can see, a lot of their teammates regrab forward. That could have been a bad counterattack if Monarch was there. Caroline with the disc taken by James. We're going to have a scoring opportunity here, and it's going to be 2 for Ultra Tensor. Those are their first points since Monarch scored 10.
8 and 10 right now. They are finally catching up for Ultra Tensor. Monarch, though, still looking pretty strong as that clock is going to be counting down there's still a good amount of time for both of these teams, and definitely not within that mathematical time anytime soon now. That joust didn't quite work out, though, but it does somehow get into the hands of a Q. Looks like they take the shot there, sinks it in. That's going to be a beautiful finish for Monarch.
Yeah, 4-point lead here for Monarch with around 3 minutes to go. We'll see what Ultra Tensor can do here with the offensive joust. Probably going to have to start thinking about maybe a good 3 here from Ultra Tensor would really set them up good. Phenom going to take control here over to James. James pressured by the fast act of Monarch. James dodging and weaving here. Going to cross that one over to Phenom. Phenom gonna take their time, gonna just push this disc up slowly, gonna pass it up to MTI. MTI pressured by the fast act from behind, down to UG. UG in the bubble right now. Nope, goes outside of the bubble, gonna reset that one back to James. James over to Phenom, but a little bit overthrown there. MTI is gonna try to grab it. Nope, taken by not ISO. Not ISO is gonna clear that one down, bounces off some geometry. And because of that, James is going to take it. James here with possession for Ultra Tensor over to MTI. MTI over to UG. UG looking for an opening here, pressured by not ISO over to MTI. MTI pushing up, down to Phenom, and a beautiful 3 here. And as I said, a 3 sets them up really good here with 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go.
Exactly the way you called it. 11 and a 12 right now for Monarch. Probably sweating just a little bit, right? They're only 1 point off. They just need a goal for Ultra Tensor in order to get that advantage right now. As we come out from the joust, looking for that passing option, gets over to the left side, but it does get picked up by the Ultra Tensor team. James slowly coming in, looks for that cross pass. Doesn't quite connect, misconnect communication, but it does get back into their hands, able to recover from that missed pass. Is empty, looking for potential passing play, goes for the cross, does connect into James. James back to empty, looking for that last final one off the backboard there. That's a beautiful finish by Ultra Tensor and exactly what they needed.
Yeah, this game has really all been about back and forth, back and forth. The momentum and the pendulum is just swinging back and forth. We'll see what Monarch can do here.
We'll see what Monarch does. A couple seconds on the clock. There's only under a minute. Time is counting down. They are going to be feeling the pressure stack up as it does get into the hands of their team. Q looking for that cross play. Gets back into Flaky's hands. Flaky takes a shot, but it gets picked up by the goalie.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here. Caroline here to reset over to Q. Not much time. 20 seconds over to... Ooh. Not ISO, but a little bit of a miss there. We'll see who grabs it. It's going to be Q. 13 seconds. Time is ticking down. Phenom's going to grab it. Going to clear it all the way down. And I think Ultra Tensor is going to take this round 1 with the dunk to seal it from James. Wow.
I mean, a good back and forth from both of these teams. Ultra Tensor, though, I think ultimately had a great lead that set him up very well going into the later part of that round there. I mean, we're seeing some great shots. James coming in with 6 themselves. Caroline with the sniping shots, 6 points themselves. But unfortunately, it just wasn't quite enough. And I mean, we saw at the end there, they were struggling. They were struggling to really get those points in for Monarch. They're so close to getting them, but they just couldn't quite finish in the end. And of course, that allowed Ultra Tensor to have those opportunities, have those chances to move it to the other side of the arena and get one last goal in the end. And I feel so bad for Monarch, right? Imagine them clawing themselves out of the dirt, getting the lead, but not able to quite hold on to it for too long.
Yeah, it was brutal there, and they had their chances. It's just that it was a little bit unlucky. You know, things didn't really exactly swing their way. Yeah, just beautiful stuff here. Ultra Tensor here dominating the possession kind of terms of the match. 1 minute extra time of possession. That's really allowing them to control the pace of the game and really allowing them to control the offense and the defensive side of the disc.
And I got to call out another stat there that we saw, the shots taken. It's actually exactly the same, 8 and 8. And that just goes to show that the difference, I think, in the end was Ultra Tensor just able to get a couple more finishing points there. They had a better conversion in terms of goals and able to really make it out as we come into round 2. Neutral joust going forward there, doesn't connect, but now it's going to be on the defensive half right now for Monarch, but they go in for the clear. Doesn't get full cleared, but it does get in the hand of teammates as they're able to push it into the other side.
Yep. We'll see who gets the disc a little bit in no man's land. It's gonna be not ISO trying to go for the three. Ooh, a little bit of a quick three there. Misses Caroline here with a scoring opportunity and is going to get it. 2 points here to start out from Monarch.
I mean, MVP for Monarch there, right? Caroline, beautiful 3-pointers in the previous game. Now starting off and at least giving them a lead. And I mean, that's so heartbreaking. We saw that initial push there, almost getting in from Monarch, but they missed it, unfortunately, from that three as the Joust comes out as they go in for the relay play, I believe, and it didn't quite connect with that second teammate on the left side there. Caroline trying to move it forward as they keep it in possession of Monarch right now.
Yep, Q gonna send that one all the way down close to the orange bubble, but it's gonna bounce a little bit away here. Not ISO is gonna pick it up. Not ISO tries to pass it over to Flaky, a little bit thrown behind Flaky. Flaky's gonna pass that one up to Caroline. Caroline, we'll see. Over to Not ISO. Not ISO with a beautiful bottom pocket shot there. 4-0 in favor of Monarch here, and they're coming out hot.
Hot indeed. That little break probably was exactly what they needed in terms of getting a little mental reset. We'll see if they can keep this lead up, though, right? We saw them get a lead in the previous round, but they weren't able to maintain it. We'll see if they can do the same thing here. Ultra TENS0R with a beautiful joust into the hands of James. As James moving it down through tunnel, goes for the cross over their teammate, able to connect in hand. Looks like there might be another connection, gets back to the hand of James. Empty now, looking to move forward, goes in for the shot off the back, makes it in, and talk about a beautiful angle.
Yeah, beautiful response here from Ultra TENS0R with the bounce shot. We'll see what Monarch can do in response. This is going to be their first offensive joust. I'd like to see what they have planned up here. Let's see what plays they bring to the table. All right, they're going to be heading out of the tunnels now. Caroline is going to be at the QB position, going to toss that one all the way downfield up to Flaky, who tries to go for the three, but it's off the ding ring. That's a little bit brutal right there. Almost had a Q here taking possession. Almost gets taken by Yuji, though. Yuji going to kind of block that a little bit, prevent the back pass, the successful back pass to Caroline. We'll see who gets the disc first. It's going to be James. James versus Caroline. Nope. Caroline gets stunned out there. That's brutal. And Yuji is going to score that one. Wow.
Beautiful assists there for them to finally break up the monotony. I mean, they were getting beat down a little bit, right, with the point differential, able to kind of make things work out a lot better for Ultra TENS0R. Monarch looking to set themselves up going forward, goes in for that deep pass, but it gets picked up, though, by Ultra TENS0R. That's going to be unfortunate. You got to wait for those stacks to come back, and a beautiful finish there. I mean, 3 points on the board, and this is what I was talking about in the previous round, right? Monarch had the lead. Can they maintain that momentum? Can they maintain the fire coming out? And it doesn't quite look like they can.
Yeah, Ultra TENS0R there, really able to capitalize off the mistakes of Monarch there. We'll see what Monarch's able to do in response. Try not to get too demoralized there. Caroline here with the disc. Going to toss that one all the way up to Flaky. Flaky, ooh, not really sure what that was intended for, either a three or a pass. We'll see who gets the disc first. It's going to be Caroline. Going to pass that one up to Nai. So tries to pass it over to Q. A little bit off target there. Flaky's going to grab it. Oh, or not. It's going to end up in the hands of James. James is going to clear that one all the way downfield, but not ISO and Q there with the regrabs back. Not ISO here. Going to take it slow. Going to try to figure out what their team wants to do. Beautiful regrabs there from Caroline and Flake, and Caroline deadly from long range.
I mean, I gotta say, we're seeing the sniper in play. Caroline, I think most of their points come from threes. They had, I think, only 1, 2. The other ones, I believe, are mostly threes, as we saw in the previous round, and even this round. So definitely the sniper of the team, as Phenom looking to pass for Ultra, burning a little bit of time, burning and pulling out that stack. James trying to see if they can play around with this beautiful stack going on, but no, Monarch able to get that conversion there as they go in for a deep pass. Can Monarch get the last sync there? They does get in the hands of their teammate, takes a shot, and that's exactly what they needed. They have the lead again, but they got to maintain it as much as they can.
Yeah, the momentum really swung there in favor of Monarch off that kind of Bad pass there, bounces off some geometry, and luckily for Ultra Tensor, allows Monarch to capitalize, and they're able to get the goal off of it. All right, Ultra Tensor here with the offensive joust. Immediately over to Yuji. Yuji trying to pass it up to James, and it's a quick response here
Oh.
from Ultra Tensor. Really, just a great play from them.
I mean, talk about it's got to be so insulting. It's got to hurt a little bit to be in the goal, miss that. As Ultra doing a really good job. I think I'm not sure if I saw that was a just a beautiful shot, or did they get the goalie sun off there? I'm not sure if I missed it. But anyways, Monarch trying to go in for the joust, doesn't work. It's a oh no, a 3-pointer right in front of their own faces.
As you said, Monarch getting a little bit nervous when they have the lead. Doesn't seem like they can hold on to it for very long. But Monarch here, down 9-12. We'll see what they'll do with their offensive joust. Got to make sure that that mistake doesn't happen anymore. Caroline here at the QB position. Going to pass that one over to Q. Q looking for an opening. Going to push this disc up. Over, down to Flaky. Flaky pressured by Empty somewhat. No, Empty's going to back off. Cross map to Caroline. Caroline looking for an opening. Going to take their time. Cross map to Q. Q down to Flaky. Flaky looking for a shot. Nope, gonna pass it over to Caroline. Saved by MTI. MTI is gonna clear that one all the way out. We'll see who gets to the disc first. It's gonna be Caroline. Caroline dodging Yuji over to Flaky. Flaky versus Phenom in goal. Beautiful shot here from Flaky to bring it within 1 point.
I mean, that was hard, right? I was wondering about Ultra Tensor. What do you go for? What do you expect? It looked like they were going to go in for the cross, but I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about playing in this game. You got to be careful about being too predictable. They go in for the shot and talk about a beautiful pocket. Joust now coming off for Ultra Tensor. Looks like James really trying to draw out the stack, breaks them up, goes for the pass, does connect for Yuji as they do move it down the arena so fast. They're empty, going back into the hands. No, it just misses them by a couple inches, and now into the hands of Monarch. 12 and 11. The point differential so close, so tight, but they can do something about it here. Ultra Tensor wants to keep this lead.
Ooh, a little bit brutal there, a little bit of a miss. And Monarch is going to take possession here. Flaky here with the disc. We'll see what he does. 2 minutes left. Can take this pretty patiently. Gonna chuck it all the way down, though. No patience. We'll see who gets to the disc first. It's gonna be Caroline. Gonna go for the shot and the sniper, and it counts as a 3. That did not look like a 3 from my screen, but it is a 3. Beautiful stuff here. 14-12 in favor of Monarch.
You know, we need that goal line AI thing to just kind of give us that little zoom in, because you're right. It looked like it was just on the edge of that bubble. I would have called that a 2 personally, but that's exactly what they needed. Beautiful joust coming out here for Ultra Tensor. Doesn't quite connect. A Monarch acting so fast. Takes the shot. Barely makes it past that as it does go off the ding ring. Takes a final shot there. Monarch sinks another one in there, looking really good right now. 16 and 12. They have a slight advantage right now, but again, they can't let that get ahead of themselves. We've seen this happen in the first round. We saw it happen a couple times in this round. We'll see if they can maintain this momentum.
Yeah, the pendulum has swung in Monarch's favor, but it can swing right back unless those mistakes happen. James here with the disc. A little bit of a botch pass there initially. Phenom going to take control, though. Up to, it's going to be MTI. MTI pressured by not ISO. MTI going to get it off to the ceiling. Over to James. James inverted. Going to pass that one down to Phenom. Phenom looking for an opening. Gets the shot.
Oh.
And brings it within 2 with 40 seconds left. Ultra Tensor is really going to need to pick up the pace here and provide some extreme pressure.
They got to be careful of those threes, right? At least with the 2, they have something to work off of, but they don't want to allow them to get that 3. I see someone in the chat, I think Kroger's live, OT, 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 OT. Trying to see if they can force that 3rd round there. Beautiful connections right now for Monarch. Can they have that stack follow-up? No, they can't. Ultra Tensor back in the hands of themselves, and look at that. Beautiful passing, beautiful connections. James going in for that final one there. Does reconnect, but it just misses one of the Ultra Tensor players, and Monarch, of course, chucks it in deep, but no one really quite follow up.
Yeah, just beautiful stuff here from this Monarch team. And I think really the story of this round two is Caroline the sniper. Just beautiful stuff.
Beautiful indeed. I mean, Caroline looking good. 14 points. James on 11 for this game. And that's exactly what they want to have happen in the second round. They want to force this into a round three. And I'm looking at the chat. It's hype right now. I see a lot of people saying, you know what? I knew this was going to be round three. I see Wiglets saying that. And you know what, Chad? I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sure if they're going to be able to make it work out. But I mean, check out how well they're performing right now for Monarch. I was scared. We saw them lose some of the momentum. We saw them lose against Ultra in that first round, but looking really good right now.
Yeah, just beautiful stuff here. Just reading chat. Oh, gee, I'm witnessing Prime Caroline. I'm so honored. Just chat's going absolutely crazy right now. Yeah, 11 points from James, 5 from Phenom, Yuji with 6, MTI with 7, Caroline with that 14, not ISO with 4, Q with 4, and Flaky with 6. Even possession in terms of round two. Um, Monarch here, though, accelerating with the shots taken even the last time, but now in favor of Monarch. All right, we're heading for the neutral joust here. Both teams are out of their tunnels. And Ultra TENS0R is going to win this one. Empty. Nope, it's going to be Phenom with the disc. Over to James, back to empty one. And it's a beautiful shot here to start it off for Ultra TENS0R.
A lot of good connections there for the Ultra TENS0R teams. Empty, able to really sink that one back in and exactly be what they needed there. But we'll see. You know, we saw them beautifully do a good job in round one, but we saw that second round comeback with Monarch. We'll see what they can do with this Joust. Looking for that momentum to really shake things up. No, they just let the disc get right out of their hands. They might have, I think, bounced it against some unfortunate geometry in the end there. Beautiful connection by Ultra TENS0R, and talk about sinking it in again for your teammates. Not looking great. I'm getting a little scared for Monarch right now.
Yeah, quick start here from Ultra TENS0R. Monarch really does not do well when the momentum is against them, but we'll see what they can do here with their offensive joust. Caroline at the QB position, scanning, gonna pass it over to Not ISO. Not ISO pressured from James from behind, gonna pass it up to Q. Cross map to Flaky. Flaky taking their time, can wait for the offensive planning, resets it back to Caroline. Caroline looking for an opening here. Not seeing much. Phenom providing pressure up to Flaky. Flaky pressured by Phenom as well. Over to Caroline. Caroline going. Oh, saved by MTI. Beautiful save there. But I do think Monarch is going to take possession back. Yep. Not Isaac going to toss that one over to Flaky. A lot of stunning going on in goal. Caroline with the stuns. And it's a beautiful shot here from Flaky. 4-2. Still in favor of Ultra TENS0R, but I'm liking Monarch so far.
Definitely a hard-fought goal there from Monarch. I mean, there's so much back and forth. They had to force that goalie stun in the very end. I think someone was even holding on to the goalie until the very end when the goal had gone on in there. So definitely a good start there. This Joust coming out from Ultra, looking to move it down the arena, looking to break up the stacks. Beautiful connections there as they make it all the way into the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4 connections there for Ultra TENS0R. They really want to make sure this one works out. Probably looking for that cross pass. Doesn't quite work out there. And I mean, talk about beautiful defense from Monarch.
Yeah, unlucky they're off the ding ring, but it's going to be Phenom slapping that one forward. Not ISO trying to grab it, but James is going to grab it. Ultra TENS0R has a chance here. Going to pass it over to Phenom. Beautiful shot there from Ultra TENS0R. Really good team play. I really like what they've done in terms of the passing so far.
I mean, we've seen them have so many beautiful connecting passes. I think I called out the one, it was like 4 in a row, 5 connections in a row. So we can see the chemistry, honestly, coming out from Ultra TENS0R. And I think that's what keeps them in this game, keeps them more consistent, I would argue, than Monarch. Not to discount Monarch. We've seen them have some great comebacks, but here's Q in the 1v1. Doesn't work out there. And I mean, talk about the goalie tending as Caroline tries to keep it in play, goes in for a beautiful slap to their teammate. Monarch looking for any good openings, but it does get picked up by this Ultra defense.
Yeah, Yuji there with a great clear over to Phenom. Phenom going for the 3 and is going to get it. That is brutal. Monarch here really in a pit here. down 7. We'll see what they can do with their offensive joust.
I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous, Finn. I don't know. I'm getting a little nervous for Monarch here, right?
Oh,
9-2.
yeah.
This lead is getting a lot bigger. Minute by minute. Caroline sends it in deep, sees if they can connect with one of their teammates, but no, again, gets picked up by Ultra Tensor. And this, possession is looking really good right now for Ultra. And I don't know what's going on with Monarch. They have been struggling to maintain this possession for too long for some of their plays.
Yeah, it's a bit brutal here, but Q is going to take it. Tries to go for the long three and is going to get it. That's going to change the momentum a lot here. Great stuff here from this Monarch team, able to figure out who can get the open three there.
9-5. That lead is getting a little bit closer minute by minute. We'll see what ends up happening as Ultra Tensor comes out on this joust, goes in for the right pass where their teammate does connect. Beautiful connection, but it does get picked up. Unfortunately, the beautiful interception in the end there. Monarch with the ball, the disc in hand, looking for that cross pass, but they do take a little bit of a breather as they try to pull out this defense. But James, talk about an interception, sends it in deep.
Yeah, that was a great read there by James, and Empty's going to take this one, but taken back by Flaky. Flaky's going to clear that one all the way down. We'll see who gets to it first. It's going to be not ISO. Not ISO, going to pass it over to Q. Tries to go for the bounce shot, but it goes in off the self goal. That's a little bit unlucky. 9-7 here, still in favor of Ultra Tensor, but Monarch is storming back.
Monarch definitely on the necks of Ultra Tensor. They have the advantage though, right? They're still up by 2. They're still up there. I got to be careful, for Caroline. You don't want to see them come in with a 3-pointer and obviously give them the advantage as James coming in and off the joust goes in for the cross into the other side of the arena, now empty with the final connection there. Goes for another pass over their teammate, takes the shot there. And this is what I'm saying. It's just a chemistry between their team. Ultra Tensor has what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections there, able to make it slowly but surely across the arena, and of course they know how to finish it.
Yeah, Ultra Tensor here with great chemistry, great passing ability. We'll see how Monarch can respond here. Caroline at the QB position, over to not ISO, over to Q. Q gonna take this one, trying to look for a cross map over to Flaky. Flaky pressured by Phantom from behind, back to not ISO, who's gonna slap that one back to Flaky. Flaky here pressured by Phanom, looking for an opening. Gonna reset it back to Caroline though. Almost made that mistake again, over to Flaky. Flaky looking for an opening, pressured by Phanom again. Gonna cross it over to Q. Q pressured by UG. Here on the floor, gonna pass it up to Caroline. Caroline over to not ISO. Monarch here playing really disciplined. Echo here, just waiting for an opening. Tries to go for the shot there. A little bit unlucky, but Caroline is going to keep possession here for Monarch. Oh, it's intercepted by James. James with the great read. 2 great interceptions so far, and it's going to be picked up by MTI, who's going to dunk that one in. 13-7 in favor of Ultra Tensor.
That was heartbreaking to watch, right? We saw Monarch really draw out, really try to maintain possession for as long as they can, but unfortunately they just weren't able to convert in the end there. And we're seeing the exact opposite problem with Ultra Tensor. They have sometimes the smallest amount of possession, and they're able to still convert that. And again, James, beautiful stun there, takes the shot, the 3-pointer down there for Ultra. And Monarch is really struggling at this point. We're seeing the momentum really stack up.
Yeah, that's brutal there. Yeah. Monarch's getting really unlucky with these offensive engagements. They had a really long, drawn-out offensive play there, but just wasn't able to capitalize, and the quick counterattack from Ultra Tensor was just able to get the goal for them. All right, let's see what they can do here with the offensive joust. It's going to be picked up by Empty, who's going to clear that one all the way down, but Caroline is going to grab it over to Flaky. Flaky over. Oh, tries to pass it over to Q, a little bit overthrown there, and it's going to be picked up by Phanom, who's going to try to clear that one out. A little bit of a dribbling. Oh, and we have some technical difficulties. That is unfortunate, but it is part of the process.
Yeah, we're going to take a slight technical break, I guess we got to say there, Finn. But I mean, 16-7 for Ultra Tensor, 2 minutes on the clock. It still was going to be a tough situation for Monarch to really work it out. And it looks like they maybe will go in for a replay round in the end, but we'll have to see what's going to end up happening as we, connect with the teams.
Yeah, that was a bit brutal there. Yeah, just unlucky with the server issues. 2 minutes was still left in the game. I do feel like both teams had decent chances. Obviously, it was going to be an uphill climb for Monarch, but Ultra Tens are definitely setting the tempo there.
That indeed. We'll see if we can connect with the teams, figure out how to have this one pushing forward. But I mean, we have Ultra Tensor on round one. They got the win. Monarch coming in with that second round. And obviously that third round going the way really of Ultra Tensor for a hot minute, 16-7. I gotta say that was still a pretty decisive lead there, right? A 9 point lead that would have required, Caroline to get 1, 2, 3 3-pointers in a row.
Definitely possible, but definitely would have been an uphill battle. All right, we
Hmm.
got the Spark link. We'll see if we can open this back up. All right, hopefully we will be starting very, very soon.
That's heartbreaking too. I mean, if I were on Ultra's side, I'd be a little upset. They were again a pretty decisive lead from them.
Yeah, it kind of kills momentum there with the server shutdown. Kind of kills the mental, but we'll see how they do to recover.
And I gotta say, it does kind of give Monarch a slight advantage, right? Now they can kind of ice down what Ultra Tensor was doing, what they were cooking up in the end. So I'm a little worried for Ultra there, but of course Monarch can be a little bit happy about this because again, it wasn't working out for them in the end. Doesn't mean they couldn't have had it work out, but we'll wait until they get this server set up in just a bit. But what did you see in that game, Finn?
Honestly, just great stuff here from Ultra Tensor, able to provide great counterattacks. I feel like the story of that round was the lack of Monarch offense. Caroline really showed up in round one and the start of round two, but later into round two, they were starting to lock her down, make sure that she didn't take those long threes, have someone in goal, and try to stop those threes from racking up because those were really killing them in round one.
It definitely was indeed, and I felt bad for Monarch at times. Right, I think the biggest one I had noticed was about halfway through that round, we saw them have a really drawn out attack there. Right, they were going in for the possession play, trying to get for the cross passing. Something I did notice, their goalie might have been a little too far back. Right, it forced that 3v3, and I gotta say that defense from Ultra, they were right on top of them, so they weren't preventing them from having any plays at that time. They did finally pull in the goalie in the end there, but it just didn't quite work out. It got, picked up by one of the defenders and of course cleared. And I think I got to say, almost an immediate conversion. So the counterattack plays from Ultra Center, honestly, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I totally agree here. And their offensive ability in general has really been the story of the game so far. I'm just looking around, seeing everything change in front of my eyes as the server is being set up. But, you know, yeah, just great stuff here from Ultra Tensor.
That indeed. Funny enough, I mean, again, I believe they're technically, if you're looking at game stats, the underdog coming in to this game against Monarch, because again, Monarch 3-3 for the season, Ultra Tensor 1-5. I'm not sure if they must have been going against maybe some of the hardest teams in the league, or if they just were trying to get their roster together, and finally they really locked it in this game. So that is gonna be unfortunate. As again, reminder, it was 16-7 right before the server shut down. 2 minutes on the clock, and I gotta say that's not impossible to come back from in 2 minutes. But I gotta say, Finn, I'm not sure. I would have been a little nervous for them to see if they can come back within those 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be rough here. 2 minutes left. Just waiting for the teams to set up here for, I assume, what's going to be a neutral joust. Um, round three, gotta finish strong. They're really gonna need those three threes.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see a Caroline come out there and try to get those 3 threes, right? The sniper on the team. So maybe they'll be able to pull out and do some crazy action like that. But again, I'd be pretty nervous. Right? We saw, I think, even in the best round, Carolina on round one got 2 threes, but to get three is definitely a tall order to ask of anybody.
All right, looks like they are going to be readying up in a few seconds. Let me just sort that out real quick. But um, yeah, just excited to see here in the last 2 minutes of this round three. It is unfortunate that we lost all of the stats because some of those stats were pretty cool to see and watch. Looks like they still need to organize the teams here a little bit. Just waiting. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see 2 minutes. Not a lot of time, but also definitely not anything near mathematically impossible yet. At least yet.
Right. We're just talking about, can they fight against the momentum? Can they fight against the pressure that was coming out there from Ultra for a hot minute? I mean, we're talking about a pretty strong round for them showing, for their showing a pretty good round towards the end there. And for Monarch, they had a couple of good times. They had a couple of good opportunities that just didn't quite work out for them in the very end. So I'm hoping we're seeing a couple more chances from them. I'm hoping we see some kind of switch up. Otherwise, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw this go the way of Ultra Tensor. No disrespect to Monarch, but it's just 16 and 7, 2 minutes on the clock. They're going to be a little challenging.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Yeah, that's a very tall cliff to climb, and we're just waiting here for the teams to ready up. All right, and they have both readied up, so we're gonna be headed for the neutral joust, I assume, very soon. I'm just excited. Who doesn't love a round three? 2 minutes left. This is the best. This is the best time for Echo VR.
I know. I mean, as much as we talk about the statistics or the likelihood of Monarch winning this one, doesn't make it impossible. Doesn't mean they can't come out with some insane clutch play and showcase. This is why, honestly, some of those VR esports, especially the sport-related titles, are so cool because you can see some very interesting plays from these teams. I'm hoping Monarch pulls out some good stops. Again, if I were a betting man, I'd probably be more on the side of Ultra Tensor at the end here. But again, I'm always open to being surprised. I'm always hoping to get surprised too.
Always on the side of the underdog, at least for myself. That's what I consider. So I'm hoping Monarch shows some life here. Multiple threes incoming, maybe, perhaps. We'll see. All right, neutral joust here. Underway almost in a few seconds. All right, they're going to be coming out of the tunnels right now. All right, they're out. We'll see who wins this neutral joust. It's going to be Ultra Tensor. Phenom here with the disc. We'll see. They're just going to take their time. This is not surprising. Oh, but taken by Q. And with the dribble, Q and Flaky are going. Oh, a little bit of an unlucky bounce there. Flaky's going to grab this one. They're going to need their threes now, like right now. Flaky over to Not ISO. Not ISO. Looking for an opening. Over to Q. Oh, but it goes in for the two. That's not what you need there.
It's not right, especially with the time counting down. We're only, what, a minute, 20 seconds on the clock, 16 and 9. They have a 7-point difference there. They got to get, I mean, at this point, they still need 3 goals, right? At best, you have 2 threes, and still you got another 2 on top of that. So it just doesn't quite work out for them in terms of timing. And if I were honestly on the side of Ultra, I'd be trying to burn as much time for your next goal to set up there. And again, this is exactly what they want to do here. They're getting great connections, soft plays there, but never mind, it doesn't quite connect as Monarch does have possession. 50 seconds on the clock now.
Yeah, a little bit of commentator's curse right there. We'll see. Q is going to grab this one. I think we are in the territory of mathematical impossibility. Yep, with that save there from James, that's probably going to seal it. They probably needed 3 there. Caroline's going to grab this one. Intercepted by Yuji. Yuji's going to try to clear that one down the right tunnel, and it's going to be picked up by James. James tries to go for the bounce 3, ends up missing, going to bounce off shield, and Phenom is going to tap that one in for the dagger.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, we're just seeing consolation goals coming out from the side of Monarch. You can't beat that 18 and 9, 10 seconds on the clock. Unfortunately, there aren't any discs that give you a plus 9 points as we are coming down to time. Looks like that is going to be going for the way of Ultra Tensor. 2 and 1. I mean, Finn, that was a beautiful game from Ultra.
Yeah, game three, just that's what you want to see as a caster. Always want to see go go to 3 rounds there. Valiant effort by Monarch here, but Ultra Tensor with beautiful offense here. It really has been the story of their passing ability that has allowed them to take the win here.
Gotta say that team chemistry really showing through in Ultra. And honestly, Finn, if I were to think about a word that would define what I had seen from Monarch, I might say missed opportunities, right? There were so many times where they could have had a conversion. It just didn't quite work out. Maybe it might have been a missed pass. Maybe it might have been not able to get around a defender. And it was just unfortunate because there's so many close calls, so many times where they were just right there. And it's got to be heartbreaking, I think, for the team Monarch because we saw them come back in the round two. We saw them almost win a lead out there in the round three. But Ultra, I got to say, just a very solid team.
Yeah, very valiant attempt there by Monarch, but they ended up falling. All right, guys, we will see you guys in around 9 minutes. Make sure to stick around. We have Ren versus Modified at 10 o'clock. It has been a pleasure here, Martini.
Of course.
And big thanks to H Penny on cams. We will see you guys in around 9 minutes. Thank you.